ones, empaths, I don't want you to be upset over this disgrace of a human being. They're an absolute disgrace, you know? The way they function, their agenda in life, you know, they don't like to see you smile. They never like to see you smile. Anytime that you did smile brought them pain. You know, it's actually harder to believe what's real than to believe what ain't real. It's actually harder to believe what's real than to believe what ain't real. And, you know, the reality of the situation is this individual had such contempt for you and disregard, and they didn't ever want to see you achieve or develop or prosper. You know, they're a dusty weirdo. We can't be upset about dusty weirdos, you know. Like, we need to actually get to the point where we say, you know what? I actually gave a period of my life to this dusty weirdo, you know. And we have to take it for what it is, you know. It wasn't a complete waste of time. It wasn't a complete waste of time. There's some serious lessons that we've learned through dealing with this dusty weirdo. But we need to make sure our vision, looking at them, we don't hold them in a high regard. We've got to make sure of that. Do not miss the days when you used to be close. You know, don't miss those days. You got to realize that this person was deceiving you throughout the entire relationship, right? Someone who does this in life, they spend their every waking moment as a phony, as a fake, as a snake. You know, they're just a dusty weirdo, right? They're just a dusty. And they're a disgrace. They're honestly a disgrace. You know, we shouldn't have spent as long as we did in these relationships. That's one thing, you know, but we were so asleep, we didn't realize what they are. We didn't know what they were. We didn't know we were being devalued. We didn't know we were being undermined. We didn't know we were being deceived. We didn't know none of these things. But now you know that now. So when you hold in one hand all of the bad that you now know they've done, right? And there's so much bad that you don't even know that they've done, right? And then you, on your other hand, you've got the love bomb period. And when they were, you know, love bombing you in between devaluation and stuff, it's not really worth much, is it? On the scale of things, on the grand scale of things, it's not really worth much, you know. The narcissist doesn't want you to see them for what they are. You got to realize they tried to hide from you the whole time. Even when they erupted and the unmasking happened, it wasn't like they was deliberately unmasking around you. They wasn't deliberately, you know, they wasn't even deliberately being bad to you or evil to you. It was just their nature. Their nature's this way, and they was hiding their true nature. And this just slips out every now and then. And that's why we went through the abuse love bomb cycle countless times. But their innate nature is misery. They want you miserable. They want you destroyed. And I don't want you to be upset about them. I don't want you to be saddened by it. I want you to look at the experience as something that has actually molded you into a better human being. Because it has. It has. Think about it. If we didn't awaken when we awakened, right? Then what would have happened in the next relationship or the next person? Now we're not gonna pair up. Even in friendships, we're not gonna bond with individuals that are toxic, right? Or that's at least what we want to try and do. We want to be prepared enough that we don't connect with these dusty weirdos, right? And we leave them far out of our circles. Just don't be upset about them. I know you went through abuse. I know you went through pain. I know you went through hurt. I know they might have cheated. I know they might have done so much badness to you. But what don't kill you makes you stronger, right? And these individuals are a lost cause. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere in their life. You might have seen them move on. You might have seen them settle down. You might have seen them go over a new supply, get married, have children. These individuals aren't going anywhere, right? Like, no one's going to offer what you did. Once you know that as well, you know that, like, someone isn't going to provide in the same way that you provided. They're not going to do the deeds that you used to do to the narcissist. Like, when you know that wholeheartedly, it becomes a bit easier as well, because this is why we go through the hoovers. We go through the hoovers that we get from them because they realize this as well. It's highly unlikely they're going to meet another empath in their life, you know? And we don't need to be miserable about these creatures. If anything, you know, if we know how much they wanted to make us miserable and hurt our feelings and diminish us, like, what do you think their psychological state is right now? You know, even if they are with new kids and getting married, like, they're off balance. They're not balanced. They're not well harnessed. They're a lost cause. And I don't want you to be saddened, depressed, angry. I don't even want you to be angry, you know. That, like, I know you will feel anger, and you go through the cycle of the healing process. You go through the phases of grieving, and you go through the anger phase. It's natural to go through an anger phase. But I eventually want you to get past the anger phase where you become indifferent, where you just you couldn't care less about what the narcissist does, says, or anything. And you literally become so spiritually, physically, and mentally detached from this individual. Like, and you just focus on your own well-doing and your own well-being. You just focus on your own life, you know? Just don't be upset about a dusty weirdo. Like, they are scum, right? They are scum. Like, you know, they were fortunate enough to have us for the time that they had us. They was very fortunate to have us for the time that they had us. And they can't turn back time now. They can't make us go back to sleep. Well, you can fall back into the sleep phase, but we're not going to go there. You know, we're not going to let them back in. We're not going to let them talk their trash and let it make us believe their lies again and fall back to sleep, right? We're not going to fall back to sleep. We're going to try our best not to fall back to sleep. And understand that realistically, it's the biggest blessing that ever happens. Awakening to this narcissistic abuse. You know? Because you've got the whole future to come. You know, when you do meet someone genuine, when you do meet someone kind, like, it's going to be totally different, you know. It's going to be authentic. It's going to be real. You've got all that to come, but just don't try and find it too quickly, because I believe we need to go through the natural grieving and healing process before we even partake into a relationship, right? We should take our time, as I always say. But just don't be upset about what, you know, if they've gone off with a new supply, don't be upset that someone else come and took your trash away. You know, you've heard me say that before. These lot are dusty. They're scum. Disgusting human beings. They had ill intentions for us. And we don't need that around us. We don't need someone that operates like that around us. We don't need that around us. And the universe and God knew this. And that's why they're not around us no longer. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find a link in the description box. If you'd like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find a link in the description box. Currently, I've got a secondary channel, a spiritual channel. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.